so unfortunate that we didn't have, as our professor mentioned it, the industrial players, but next time it can be food for thought, and we can have URA on board and the UNBS. By saying this, the UNBS is mandated for enforcing the anti-plastics regulations for 2019, and as a ministry, you need data on the chemicals and amounts of plastics that is being manufactured, so that you see the possible mitigation measures that can be put in place to avoid all this. The 2019 Act specifies that the single use of plastics of 30 microns and below, the companies or the industry that are producing that, they label their plastics so that they can help in traceability. But we are seeing this not being put in place. A lot of plastic is being dumped in different packaging industries, and they are not labeled. That's why we are having a lot of issues with picking this waste. Whatever you mentioned, if you feel it touches you among the panelists.
Okay, let's have the last one there. Yeah, we can have 10 hands, but I have one person because I can't stretch time. Make a choice for me. Okay, yeah. Okay, thank you, the moderator. I'm Medad Sandy, and I'm from the Community Empowerment Network, Tiseni Chegegwa, a youth-led organization, CBO, where I'm the programs director. I would like to extend my thanks to the moderator from here, who talked about the biodiversity, not about tree planting, but growing trees and concern of the other life. It doesn't matter us planting tree, but how are we concerned of the generation to come? Then my colleague in the between talked about the financing or the funding. The truth is, he also mentioned it for the young planters like us who are coming up to advocate for environment, finds it very hard, very, very hard, even to access tree species. As the younger planter said, you find even me, I have a goal of planting less than 1 million trees, but I don't have that access to access both advice which tree species are good for the community and where can I get these tree species. Thank you so much. The panelists, you have 5 minutes between yourselves, the three of you. See what you do with it. Thank you. See how you share that. I will not ask about the statistics. I will request that you, after we can discuss. But basically what I was meaning here, the number of species that we have in the country, number of plants species, number of animal species that we have in the country as Uganda. Now we're trying to compare, maybe to compare with other countries. For example, I talked about plants having 4,800 plus for Uganda. If you compare the country like UAE, it has only 2,200. We have 4,000 plus, we have only 2,000. Trying to compare how rich we are in terms of biodiversity, in terms of species that we have. Hope I've answered you, but you can get more of this information from our office here when you visit us. You also talked about getting plants. Yes, for schools and children, you don't work. So if you like planting trees, just walk to another side down there, we shall give you trees plant. As long as you're sure, you show us that you put us that you take care of them. That one we do. And sometimes if you put us that you have land that is big, by the way, like some 10 acres and above, and you don't plant indigenous trees, and we are sure that you can keep them there, not cutting them tomorrow, then we can also plant for you. We have different programs here. You can contact us and we can do that for you. Of course, it's a case-by-case basis to assess what and their capabilities to take care of these trees. Then someone called Young talked about how much it costs. Of course, different tree species have different prices. But if you can as a student, they need it. And some who prove that they can't buy. So we have that program here for free tree seedlings. And if you're a school or a church or any institution and you have land, you just look at us, then you can help do that. It's hard to access species, like I already answered, it's not hard. Here we also have a seed bank, by the way, while keep seeds for indigenous trees of Uganda and beyond. So you can also provide some seedlings at a subsidized price, in some cases free of charge. Thank you.
Okay, I can talk about waste management. Someone asked about plastics. I think number one is we still have a knowledge gap where people, including some of us, just throw a plastic where you just where you are. Sometimes you don't know the implications of doing that. And then the other thing is also lifestyle. You have grown up in a society where throwing a bottle there is just it is common, it is normal, and that is it. So the culture that we teach the children also poses a challenge. But also when you come at industrial level, there's something called clean production, where these industries are supposed to be using the clean methods of production, and also have measures in place to control the plastic that they produce. But I will also summarize it in this manner, that there is still a gap in terms of policy. Because if the policies were strict, all these challenges were not there. So we can all talk about everything, but policy is the major ingredient in controlling plastic, especially in Uganda where it is still a challenge.
Okay, in response to this gentleman, I talked about Python. I talked about Python as the background algorithm by which they developed these models, especially like the SWOT model. Like, you may not necessarily need to have the knowledge on coding, like on using Python to run this model. It's the background algorithm for this model. However, if you need knowledge like about coding using R programming for trend analysis, that one is very easy. You can even take my contact. You contact me anytime, and I can be able to guide you on how to do it. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone. I think we're almost there. With the interest of time, consulting with my co-MCs here to finalize with the next agenda. Everything is harmonized in time, but I would wish to say the chapter of panelists and presentation is all done, and we can give them a round of applause, please, for the good work. Well done. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Yes, it's not easy, but we are moving on. Let's now, we are going to, of course, I must say, you are patient and you are still continuing to be patient. We have our partners. We have many partners, but we have three really to represent the rest of us as partners. I will mention them by organizations. Kindly accept me when I request you to speak for not more than 3 minutes. I know you are funders, you are supporters, you are so on, but you also know what team means. We are coming towards 5, and everybody has his interests. Some people are showing me a clock and so, but what do I do? We have TBG, we have a free year, we have KFF. Each one of you kindly take not more than 3 minutes in that order. Of the 3 who is available, currently present here, please come, have the mic, and speak to us.
Thank you so much, everyone. Al-Islam Saeed Musa Mutegeki is my name. I'm the Research and Conservation Manager and the resident botanist here at Togo Botanical Gardens. I commend all of you who have turned up for these events, and I appreciate the partnership with the Ministry of Water and Environment, FAIR, and other partners that have really labored to be here. We very much appreciate this, but for the interest of time, we can't communicate past the limits that we have, but we do want to encourage you that let this not be the end of you coming here to the Botanical Gardens. We have very many programs that are pro-environment conservation, water resources management, the new standard of certification, which is
the Global Biodiversity Standard, which is based on ecological restoration, not considering tree planting only, but the impact of tree planting on biodiversity. It has all series of benefits that benefits everyone's well-being, and we really intend to publicize this information to the grassroots level. But we not only just plant trees, but planting trees that we are sure we are going to live along with the inhabitants of the wild plants, wildlife consideration in this context to ensure that we live a very sustainable life in this case. So since we have less time in the remaining areas of program, I encourage you. This area is 100 acres with different garden collections that are all pro biodiversity conservation. We have biorepositories that are acting as archives of dead and living gene pool that we're yet to discover lots of things that, if you're much interested in understanding the plant science that we do speak here, and we do simplify this in the local context for everyone's comprehension to ensure that it not only benefits the professionals, but it benefits all people in the walk of life. Allow me thank you that we are very much grateful for coming here, and we hope that you'll be visiting us time and again with exception of events to ensure that we have a very well linked synergy of biodiversity conservation and engagement involving communities to ensure that we all contribute to a planet of plants that all of us here are dependent on. With those few remarks, allow me to say thank you all for all your time. Thank you.
Thank you so much, TBJ. You really had, it took a little longer because you were the host at the same time, because I even stopped you short. You should have taken more. Freya, please, if I pronounce it poorly, I'm sorry, but kindly director, 2 minutes. I know you are fast and do things.
2 minutes are too much for me. So, Freya is African Young Environment Activist, and it's a youth-led non-government organization aimed at encouraging and getting people to conserve the environment. Purposely, I'm really here to express my apologies to you, but it shouldn't be an apology for sure. I've done it purposely. I know I made you suffer for the first 4 hours. You never had bottles on your tables. Don't blame the Ministry of Water and Environment. Don't blame Toro Botanical Gardens. It's me. The ministry had all the monies to buy the bottles for you people to have the water on your table. But I said, let's go environmental friendly, and we must lead people by example. So the next time you come here for the symposium, you must pack the water. You'll have the food, you'll have everything, but you must pack the food. Or you must pack water in non-recyclable materials, because if we are to walk the talk, we must take action. And there's no any other time to do that. The time is right now. If you managed to read online yesterday in The Guardian, there was a proper research from the universities in the UK. Like a mother who was pregnant was discovered to be having microplastics in her placenta. My wife, she's going to give birth probably early next year. I don't want her to carry a blame like I didn't take my responsibility. Yes? If my child is born and it's discovered she has got plastics in her blood, in her body, that would be my blame. I haven't played my role. So we must all carry the responsibility. Plastics are not safe for anyone. And the time to say no to plastics is right now. Let's fight plastics, let's fight climate change, and this is really happening. Whatever has been said in the speeches, there's nothing that I need to repeat about. This climate change is going to wash off all the good things you are seeing here. All these buildings will be washed off. All the crops at home, they'll be washed off. So the time is right now. We must say to those companies that we need to say enough for plastics. We shouldn't blame the governments for not stopping plastics. We are the ones creating the demand for plastics. If you know the factors of demand and supply, if people are not demanding for that particular product, you will never see them putting it on the market. So that's all I need to say for now, but enjoy the rest of your conversation. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Director. Chaninga Forest Foundation. Chaninga. Okay, maybe he's on a break. Okay, as we wait for him, we have remarks from the Ministry of Water and Environment, Director, DEA. He can be along the way as I go through the program, because we don't want to leave anybody behind. In the event that is not readily available, so we can move on. Yes, let me invite Local Council 5 Chairperson, representative, kindly not more than 3 minutes, bear with me, and let us do that. We are not opening, we are not closing. You're giving some simple remarks at the end. Thank you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. For the interest of time, we'll just say protocol observed. I have enjoyed the time I've been here. I have learned a lot from the presenters and from questions and answer session. I have already learned a lot. Everything that was presented here was really very pertinent. There are some pertinent issues as far as climate change is concerned. As a leader, I'm looking at the population growth. The land is still so small, it remains the same. As the population is growing, so many people can just dispose waste anyhow and degrading the environment. It is a challenge that we must plan and be very planning to make sure we start building in the space up there. Now, even the people who are constructing houses, they don't even seek for guidance. They just build in anyhow, even in the waterway. You find the traditional boundary marks on the veranda of someone, and behind the house, same story. And what do you expect on proper disposal of waste? That's a big challenge. And even open-dification, contaminating the rivers, contaminating all the water sources, but we are there, just there silent, and everyone is thinking they are just comfortable. One of the presenters here said that with environment, you cannot rule out health. So if you have clean and safe water, then you are health. But if water is contaminated, all the poor sanitation and hygiene related diseases, there are 82% in the hospitals. 80 to 82, around there. I don't know now if they have increased.